Well, hey folks, this is John with Ozarks Backroads with you. We're back out in the woods today. Spring is upon us here in the Ozarks. Beautiful day going on. Our native redbud trees have bloomed and we're still waiting on our dogwoods. They haven't bloomed yet, but they're going to be coming on here in a week or so. We're on the mighty KLX, our Kawasaki KLX300 back here. Got it all loaded up with our camera gear. We're going to take a ride along some creeks. We're back in an area that I've never been in, so it should be interesting. I think we'll find some old home places back in here. So stick around. We'll jump on the mighty Kawasaki, go for a ride in the woods. Well, we've made it to my dirt road off of the highway back here. This is Highway 14. We're in Douglas County, Missouri, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, really. It's a long ways to town from here for sure. Got the mighty Kawasaki going here, our 300 KLX. I got my Tusk side panniers on and another Tusk bag with some camera gear in it. And this is just tires and tire tubes and tools and things in these. These bags don't hold a whole lot, but plenty big for a day trip. I've also got a couple of fuel canisters, one in each side on these bags. So I've got 3 quarts of, or 3 liters of fuel in these large drink holder bags there. So I should be in pretty good shape. Beautiful day here in the Ozarks. We got a little rain, a couple of inches maybe, so that we should see some water in the creeks today, a little more than we've had. This is Dry Creek, no, Brushy Creek. I am seeing a lot of watercress, so there's a spring. There's watercress in the bottom up here. So there is definitely a spring up there. Looks like a pretty good one by the amount of watercress I'm seeing there. That's pretty neat. I'm hoping we'll find some cool old house places back in here. If you follow these creeks and rivers back in the Ozarks, these old roads that go along them, bottom land, bottom ground, that's a good place to find the old homesteads. Yeah, the early settlers, they took the good ground down on the bottoms, and that's where you find the old homestead places, the oldest places around. There's a cemetery up here, the Henderson. Let's go see about that. I like old cemeteries. Well, they got some modern graves. 2010 right there was, well, I don't guess I need to walk around, tromp around in there. Don't forget to help me look for mushrooms when we're going slow like this. I wouldn't mind coming home with a few in my stashed away in my tank bag. That'd be all right with me. Well, does that look slick? Not especially. I think it'll be all right. I don't believe that's normally has water on it, so it doesn't grow a lot of moss. Got the solar eclipse coming up in about a week. I'm going to go down into central Arkansas. It's supposed to be the best viewing area down there. I'm going to throw this little KLX on the trailer and drag it down there and set up base camp. I'm going to ride in the woods down there for a couple of days before the eclipse. Right now, the weather forecast for the day of the eclipse is not looking good. It's looking cloudy and rainy down there. But the 2 days prior, when I'm going to be riding, those both look real good. Highs up close to, I think, 78 degrees one day and 80 the next. That's pretty warm. Lows in the 50s, excellent camping weather. Here's another wet spot, barely. There's a spring right there. That is the spring right there. That's the spring hole. That's an old house place. Anytime you find a spring, like this one here, good chance you're going to find an old house place. You're going to stay up. No falling over. Yeah, there's an old house place here underneath this little, I guess it used to be a bluff, a bit of a bluff there. We got watercress coming in from that, so there's a spring back there. This right here looks like a spring hole. Spring hole right there. Yep, got a spring coming up here out from under the hill. Watercress, you can eat that watercress. I never have, but they say you can. There's actually some little minnows, some little fish in that. That's pretty sweet. Well, the bike didn't fall over. That's good. See if we can get back on it here. Continue forward. I'm starting to get warmed up. Well, I softened the suspension back up on this bike. I had overdone it initially. I put too much preload in the back spring and too much, I turned the compression and the damping up on it as well, and it was just hard as a brick bat. So I ended up taking most of the preload out of the rear spring. I've got about 1.5 turns in it from stock, and I set the damping, the compression and the rebound damping back to the stock settings, and it's pretty good now. I'm liking it. It's good on the highway, and it's soaking up a lot of stuff here on these roads. It's not all going into my kidneys, so it's actually doing what it's supposed to do now. Yeah, look at this bad boy. Just wide enough to get a pickup over, or a tractor. How are we looking here? This is kind of nice. I don't believe this is normally underwater either, so it's probably not slick. I didn't see any moss on it. Help me watch for mushrooms. No hunting. Wonder if that goes for mushrooms. We can only look for them on this other side, apparently. Well, this is quite the little road here. This is pretty nice. Well, we found one house place, old house place with a spring. I'm ready to find another one. Setting the damping back down on that rear shock definitely makes this a lot more plush, better. It's still pretty firm, but it's not like it was. It was painful. Look at all these turkeys up here. Turkeys everywhere. Oh, they're gonna fly. In case you ever wondered, can a wild turkey fly? There's your answer. There's some more whoppers. Might even be a Big Mac or two in those. Hard to say. And a ride through the creek? Oh yeah. Not much of a ride through the creek, but a little bit. I bet it gets interesting at times when we get the big rains. Looks like a little road that might run down on a creek somewhere. Water coming out of the hill right here, running over the road. Yeah. Their stock dog didn't much care for my motorcycle. A lot of times them stock dogs do not like motorcycles. I don't know what the deal is, but they'll give you a run, make a run at you. That one just making noise. He thought the louder he barked, he was going to get some kind of a reaction out of me, and it just didn't happen for him. That place pretty junky looking right there. A backhoe or a bulldozer could do a world of good right there. Scrape all that stuff up, stuff it in a hole in the ground and cover it up. And we're still going down. We're gonna hit lava here if we don't level off at some point. Little water right here. Well, this has been a pretty nice ride for a day, just for riding around in the woods. I'd say it's been really nice. Oh boy, there's an operation right there. Yes, sir. Dog was so lazy, wouldn't even get up and chase me, just look at me. Well, I picked a pretty good route. I should have rode this a couple of years ago whenever I made the map. Instead of waiting so stinking long. Yeah, this bike won't get out of control with you. You can pretty much pin the throttle at any time. It's very controllable. Well, we got another little skid plates down there, I heard it. Got another little farm right here. Some folks living down here. Well, we did a battery change while we were down here on this little creek. This is a really pretty spot right here. Not too shabby. Continue on. I did a pretty good job on this map. I'm just getting more and more impressed. Neat old place there. Nobody's living in it either. I mean, right on the, I bet when this creek's really rolling, it pretty close there. Nice. I could live in a place where I got this for a view every time I walk out of my house. That rock right there is just about to take a tumble. It's detached, sitting on a thin ledge. It's going to be right down here in the road one of these days. Maybe these little trees will catch it. Maybe them trees will get bigger and they'll catch it. Continue on this blue line that some genius drew. I'm going to put 5 stars next to this route on my... I don't know why they bothered pouring concrete. It's got a flat rock bottom under it. They did. I guess they raised her up a little bit. Excellent. Excellent. Look at all the water running out of the hill right here. I don't see any watercress. It probably just runs when it's after it rains. Probably not a full-time spring, just sometime. Oh, we got a highway up here. Don't ask me what the highway is. I ain't got a clue where I'm at. But I know pavement when I see it. Well, folks, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, taking a ride on a beautiful spring day on the mighty KLX300 back here. It did a good job, and the old boy that mapped out the route, made the map, he did a really good job too. He needs a raise for sure. I invite you all to come back and see me. We'll go somewhere and do something else. Till I catch up with you again, y'all take care of yourselves. We'll catch you next time.